What's going on, people? Today we're gonna be rebuilding my blaster clutch. This is what it looks like so far. Everything is disassembled. It's pretty self-explanatory to disassemble all this. It's not super hard. So we're gonna start by putting the Kickstarter back on and then the clutch basket, and then we'll go from there. So you have the Kickstarter gear right here. You just want to put this square spring into this hole right here. Kind of like that. And then take the spring and just put it into that hole. And there you go, that's your Kickstarter. So next we have this conical, I think that's the word, washer. It goes on right behind the clutch basket. So you kind of want the domed part out. So you just put that right on here. And then you want to inspect the clutch basket. This is an old one, I did not get a new one. Let me clean it off a little bit here. You want to inspect the clutch basket. Make sure all the gears are intact and no pieces are broken off or anything like that. And then just slide it on. There we go. It should not spin freely. So next you want to put your spacer on. All right, next you want to do I just call it a flywheel, but I'm not entirely sure, but it's just this piece that goes on top of the clutch basket. I did put oil on the back just because this is a brand new piece that I got. There's actually, you can see some metal shavings on it. I need to wipe it off real quick. Okay, so we're back, and cleaned it off, and then just like that. Then you want to get your lock washer and put the square end into the square little hole. There's only one hole like that, and it's already kind of bent. So you gotta kind of bend those tabs after you install it, just to prevent the nut from backing out. All right, we got the nut here for it. We're gonna put it on, and I believe this is torqued to 75 foot-pounds. Okay. Okay, so it is a 22 millimeter, and I torqued it to the specs at 75 foot-pounds. I do invest in getting one of these off Amazon. This was like $5. It's like a clutch flywheel holder. If you took this off, it makes it much easier. So now, we're gonna bang these little tabs down just so the nut doesn't back out per repair manual. Okay, so next I'm gonna put in my push rod. You do the longest one first out of the two, and this is the old one. If you haven't replaced it, I do recommend replacing it. As you can see how there's like, this one is not as bad, but there's like a little indentation on the end where it's supposed to be just flat. So this is the new one. You could see it's flat on both edges. Get that off here. So I do recommend just buying these from Partzilla and just putting them in. push it in. Next, you also want to put the little ball bearing in. If you don't put this in, your clutch will not, the rods will not touch on the clutch, I guess. So it's real important you put this in. You can probably reuse the old one, but I just, and then push that in there. And as you can see, the rod it sticks a little more out now than before. It was like bottoming out. So there we go. Okay, so we're back, and the next step is to put the clutch friction discs on. These have been soaking for a while. Little pin here. Messed it up there. Okay. We want to start off with a friction disc. But anyways, yeah, these have been soaking for about, I don't know, a couple days. You only need to soak them for about 8 hours. And what you're gonna put in here, which I use Modal 10W30 trans oil. So you just use whatever oil you prefer. All right, anyways, so you do a friction plate and then a disc. And then, very important, a lot of people forget this part, and this is where sometimes the clutch won't work properly or engage or something like that. And when I took this apart, because the clutch was not engaging, it did not have one of these, which is the little friction ring gasket or something like that. Again, it's all on Partzilla. So Partzilla says to put it after the first metal plate. So after that, on Clutchzilla, it has a friction disc, which is labeled separate. As you can see how thick that is. It's a little bit thicker than the rest. So I will be using this OEM one just because this clutch disc is thicker than the other ones. But the rest of the clutch discs are, what's the brand again? I think it's EBC. Okay, so next thing you want to do is I have a brand new clutch disc plate, and you want to take the rod with the threads on it and screw the bolt washer that kind of just sits in this housing like that, as you can see. Then you want to take your smaller washer and this bolt and just kind of sandwich them for now, just to kind of keep them together. Okay, so here's something that I was doing completely wrong. Do you see how this can spin? You don't want that. And you can kind of see the space in between there, which means the teeth aren't interlocked. So what you want is you want it to be like this. This is the old one. You want it to be like that. See how the teeth are in the grooves of the clutch basket? If it's not like that, as you can see, even the push rod is all set back. So you need to put it, there is a dot on the clutch basket, I just didn't pay attention to it, of what way to do it, but you can just tell when the teeth are interlocked. So I would just keep turning it until you get it. And see, I just got it right there, and it's right up against the clutch disc. So now we're gonna put the bolts in. So as you can see, I just got it. And now, okay, so you can see now there's no space. And see, it's not gonna turn freely. And as you can see, the second clutch disc is a little bit thicker than the rest. On Partzilla, the second clutch disc has its own part number, and it's the thickest disc. So the rest of the discs are EBC Racing, but this one is OEM because I assume that they made it that way for a reason. So you can either put all your EBC discs in, that might work, but I just wanted it to be correct, kind of like OEM. And OEM, one of the clutch discs, which is the second one, which goes on top of the clutch spring little gasket thing, is thicker. So now let's put the springs in. These go to 7.5 foot-pounds. I'm just gonna start them with the power tool and just torque on my hand. Okay, now that's all assembled back together, as you can see. The way you adjust the clutch is I kind of screw the pin in until I can kind of feel it bottom out. But what you want to do is you want about like that much, about that much. And as you can see, that much is not moving it. It doesn't move till it doesn't move till about right like there. That's, oh my bad. It doesn't move till about like right there. So you want like that much of play, just so you don't burn your clutch up and it's not always engaging. And next, what I'm gonna do, okay, is there's only a little bit of oil left in this one. I'm basically, because this has been sitting with the case off, all these gears are pretty dry, so I'm just going to run this oil over all the gears and everything. Again, you don't have to do this, but mine was just sitting out for a little bit without the case, so the gears were pretty dry, so I just wanted to make sure they were all good. And I only had a little bit left, so might as well. And the oil I use to fill it up is this Modal Trans Oil 10W30. I do use 10W40 in the summer. It's just winter right now, so I use 10W30. Pretty good stuff. It does have a decently high mineral count, which is what you want with wet clutches. And after this, we're gonna put the gasket on, put the side of the crankcase on, which I cleaned out right here, and fill it up with 650 milliliters of oil, and you should be done. Okay, now is the time to double check all the bolts and make sure your Kickstarter is in the right spot. And then you want to place, I'm doing it the right way. Yeah. Your gasket on. And now all these bolts, the casing bolts, are all the same length. So it doesn't matter too much what you put where, and they're all 8 millimeters. And then you just put the casing back on. All right, so once you put it all back together and you put the oil drain plug back in, you just want to fill it up with oil. The oil that I'm choosing is the Modal Trans Oil 10W30. You want it with a decently high mineral count for these wet clutches. Some people use ATF. You can probably use that. I just like to use actual oil. And just fill it up 650 milliliters and you're ready to go. After the first ride though, I'm gonna try and, go through all the gears and then do one more oil change after the ride immediately, just to get all the fresh metal out if there is any or something like that, and that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. The next episode on the Blaster series, we'll probably be doing the shocks. These shocks are pretty clapped, as you can see. You can kind of see it was leaking. The seals are bad, these shocks are bad, so we're gonna find some replacements and replace those. Stay tuned for that. I appreciate you boys for watching, and have a great day, man.